Welcome to the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net.
This episode from the meeting room of Global TV Talk Show is brought to you by
The Bridge School, the accredited international online private school of choice, at bridgek12.org.
Porch Light Rental and Destination Services. Reduce your renter lump sum or managed relocation costs. Visit them at porchlightrental.com.
Cube Monk, featuring the world's first smart cube. Track your goods with our advanced GPS system. Welcome to the future of moving and relocation at cubemonk.com.
Primestone Partners, featuring corporate, government, and developer housing solutions, as well as senior-level advisory services. Find them at primestonepartners.com.
And by heirs.com. With our full range of services, we can help design and manage your international relocation. Find us at heirs.com.
Insured Nomads provides protection and peace of mind with health insurance, travel insurance, group, or tailored insurance for the globally mobile. Visit us at insurednomads.com.
And by International Auto Source. We are the vehicle experts for expats, featuring all major brands of automobiles with flexible solutions and financing. On the web at intlauto.com.
Become a global player in your field.
Crossculture to Go provides virtual support for your global business and career success.
We can help you thrive in 140 plus countries and markets.
On the web at crossculturetogo.com.
This is Ed Cohen in Southern California, and you're watching Global TV Talk Show, a broadcast service of globalbusinessnews.net. Globalbusinessnews.net has been in operation since '03, and Google Analytics, if we can believe all that, they say that more than 1.2 million reader page views have occurred on the site since '03. Can you believe that? So they also say about 75,000 happened last year, and this year to date, through the end of March, has been about 16,000 from over 100 countries, albeit 70% US, Canada, Latin America. 20% Europe, 9% Asia Pacific, 1% Middle East and Africa. So that's who we are, and let's welcome our very special guest today and a good friend for years from Texas, Ana Monsalve. Hello, welcome.
Hello, Ed. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. I feel very privileged. Thank you.
So it's a little after 9 a.m. in California, 11 a.m. in Texas.
That's right.
And I thank you for being on Global TV. So BP has been your home for many years, right? How many years?
27.
and you started in immigration management, details, and it's blossomed into an people management.
That's right. That's right.
I process.
Yes. I think it has been an amazing career. So when I reflect back on these 27 years, I definitely see many opportunities, many experiences, learning situations, left and right in absolutely everything that I was able to do while I was there. Having met wonderful people in many countries that I had the privilege to work with, and it's been amazing. It has been a great ride.
So we're going to be talking about your background a little bit and about what's in front and some of the experiences.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
So first of all, 27 years has brought you many experiences. So has most of your work been focused on US or has it been global?
I think it has been global from the very beginning, Ed. And let me tell you a little bit about how I started in this wonderful ride and this amazing journey with BP. So back in Colombia, where I am originally from, obviously out of the university, there comes that moment in life when your parents look at you and say, okay, you already graduated, what are you planning to do with your life? So I started looking for a job, and little I know, I went on to this interview, and it happened to be a job with BP. And that first job that I had was managing immigration, which obviously right at the start, put me in contact with a global world that I didn't necessarily knew at the time. I was in charge of managing the work permits and the visa applications for the expats that were coming to Colombia, which at the time was a big operation. And that kind of, give me the start in the world of global mobility and human resources. So that's actually how I started. But then, after working for a few years in Colombia, I had the opportunity to become an expat myself, and I moved to Angola.
Oh,
and I
wow.
packed my life,
That
my
way.
children, my husband at the time, and we moved to Angola for 3.5 years. And that was obviously, a whole new experience and a wonderful situation. I moved to the US after my Angola expatriation in 2009. That's when I finally came to Houston. And then, being in Houston, I worked here again in global mobility, continue working with expats. And then there was another fantastic opportunity for me to have a new assignment. So I went to Azerbaijan for 2 years.
Where?
Azerbaijan, Baku,
Yes.
in the Caspian. Yes.
Oh, right. So that's right in the middle, Central Asia.
Yes, absolutely. So as you see, in the span of these 27 years, I had worked in 4 different regions, and with all the richness and all the wonderful experiences that brings.
Wow, and Baku, that's like that's on the Chinese Belt and Road thing now, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
An amazing city, really fantastic. As a matter of fact, I highly recommend people, whenever we're able to travel again, that's a fantastic destination. It's an amazing combination just to see the architecture, the old city and the new city, very modern, but also all the tradition. And it's an amazing place, and people obviously are wonderful.
Oh, that's really nice that you had a safe experience, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when in Baku, for instance, and in Angola, Angola is Portuguese,
Yes.
right? But there are not a lot of Portuguese people there, though, right?
I think there is a good combination. Actually, there used to be a bigger Portuguese colony, probably a few years ago. But I think there is still a big influence from Portugal. Most of their commercial transactions are actually with Portugal. They obviously keep very close links. Many people have family in Portugal, or people in Portugal have family in Angola. So I think they're still very, very much connected.
So they trade oil and gas for wine and pork.
That would be an interesting one, right?
Well, it's a side benefit.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so in Baku, now that is just the oil fields. It's like Oklahoma, right? It's all about minerals, natural resources.
Yeah, it's a big center, and I think most recently it had become even more known because of the huge, amazing project of bringing gas from Azerbaijan all the way through Europe. And that has been just an absolutely, work of engineering and partnership and working with governments in different countries. So I think that has really put Azerbaijan right in the front of the news in the recent times.
So was that transport mostly by pipeline?
Yes.
Right. And so they figured out how not to have spills and, how to do it right mostly.
Yeah, I think safety is by far, the number one priority in all the operations. And I think that's definitely what ensure that, whatever you do, it's going to be good, for the communities and for the planet. And obviously it's a good economical proposal for the people that participate and the companies and countries that get to be part of it.
Yeah, so in our past, from the International Association of Movers and FIDI, I have met some household goods and freight forwarders from that area there.
Right.
They've been to Chicago, they've been to New York, Miami, where the conventions have been,
Mm-hmm.
and I happen to have been there. So very, very interesting to come full circle now on that topic. Okay, so what particularly did you like about BP in the final couple of years? Keeping in mind this past year has been crazy with COVID impacting and we're working from anywhere.
Yes, absolutely. I think that definitely one of the many things that I admire in the company is the resilience of the people that work there. I think we all come together in times of difficulty and we bring the very, very best of us. And that's probably the one element that allows us to continue moving forward. And I think that, having a clear strategy, a clear plan of action, and communicating that very clearly to everyone makes a very successful recipe. So that's definitely the one thing among many that I will highlight.
Yeah, Paul, can we show image number 1? And I'd like you to comment about that, okay?
Yeah, so here we are. So 27 years with a fantastic company, as I already mentioned, having amazing experiences that I know not many people have the privilege of going through. Having met brilliant people that have really, really kind of contributed to who I am today, not only on a professional side, but definitely as a person. So I kind of do a stop right now on this journey on my life. And I have to feel very proud of my career so far. And I see this as a big success. That's probably how I will summarize all my years in this great company. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm taking some time to look back and to celebrate this great milestone.
Was it hard for you to win support from your internal stakeholders to enlarge services, to do more for family? Or did the executives already understand it because they've been there, done that?
I think there is, when you're working in mobility, and I'm sure that my colleagues, if they are listening, they will probably relate to that. I think there is always ongoing work. I think you definitely need to keep putting a lot of effort in communicating what is it that you're doing, in kind of highlighting and showing what is the value that you bring. But interestingly enough, I think in the recent times, and particularly because of COVID, the value of mobility actually, comes to light by itself, because, you find yourself in a situation as a company where you have a good number of your very best talent working in different locations on expatriate assignments, and suddenly something as critical as a COVID pandemic comes up, and it's like, okay, who's there to support us, who's there to help us? And that's exactly where mobility professionals come in to say, well, we're it. We are your team, we're your support, and we're here to navigate these uncertain waters and to, do whatever it needs to be done to make sure that our people and their family are safe, that they can continue to work given the circumstances. And obviously understanding, and I think that's the big challenge that my colleagues will have, going forward, which is how do we move with the new ways of working. I think that there are many companies already kind of looking at remote work. People want more flexibility. There is still an issue with compliance, of course, immigration, taxes, etc., all that good stuff. And I feel that, mobility is right there at the heart and on the stage of human resources to facilitate and to support the company and the employees in that, international presence that continues to be very critical and very important.
So in a large integrated energy company, it's more likely than not that the senior level execs and managers have all been touched by international exposure.
Absolutely. I mean, to start with, many of them would have been expats themselves. It has been part of their career and part of their development.
So it's like a no-brainer. I mean, this is how you take care of people.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah, that's really encouraging. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go to image number 2, Paul, and talk about change and crossroads. So here, like in Baku, there are really crossroads there, right? You go,
Yes,
go this way
absolutely.
to Siberia, that way to wherever, I don't know where.
Yes, absolutely. So I think that's where I feel I am at the moment. And I have been talking to a good number of people who happen to be in a very similar situation. So that's what I actually wanted to touch on this, because I think I'm not alone on this feeling. And it's basically kind of, looking back at what you have achieved, how you have learned, the many skills and experiences that you have acquired, but making that stop to say, okay, I had a fantastic career in a great corporation. And what is it that I want to do next? What is my next chapter in life? And I think when you get to that point, there are always 2 options. You can either continue to be on your safe zone and keep doing what you're doing, and perhaps what is very familiar to you and you feel very comfortable in doing. Or you can actually say, well, you know what? I'm going to take a leap of faith on myself, and I'm going to take all that knowledge, all those skills, all that wonderful experience, and use it as a building block for something else, for something new, where I can use that knowledge and put it to, good service, but perhaps in a different capacity. So that's the choice that I'm making today.
Something that's really neat is that the Bridge School partners with various organizations to provide learning for their students. For example, we partner with a major ballet company, and we are able to enroll several of their students into our school. So now not only is the student able to participate in a school and have a seamless transition while they're very active in their ballet career, but now they have other dancers that are with them that are doing some of the same courses. So it's almost becoming a camaraderie where they're taking similar courses, they're working together on their ballet, and really being able to form this great partnership with these organizations to provide a needed service. A lot of times there are student athletes who will spend hours and hours at the gym or at the basketball courts, wherever it is. And if they're attending a traditional school, they're in school from 8 to 3. They get a quick snack, and then they're at the gym for 3 to 4 hours in the evening. Coming to us and having that partnership, they're able to break that up throughout the day. They can have a morning practice, get some schooling in, have an afternoon practice, finish their schooling in the evening. So there's that flexibility. And additionally, if there are tournaments or performances, it's fantastic, because if there's a week where they have shows straight through, they can take that week off of learning and then pick back up when they're done. So it offers this great flexibility. And for the program owners of these sports leagues, it is a win-win situation for them because they see this need. They see this need that their students need to make sure that they are obtaining the grades necessary to be successful adults in our country and in other countries. But it provides them an environment where they can be successful at both.
Let's talk about the crossroads in your mind, and of course in your surroundings, but in your mind, global mindset, and the role of, in your experience and dealing with all these different people over the years, cross-cultural. It's kind of a, you say it so many times, you don't even know what it means anymore, other than there's a lot of different people in the world, and they have valid experiences, just like you and me have our own track record and direction and impressions, and how to understand the same things is a little bit different for everybody. So in coaching or explaining what happens during a relocation, particularly on a personal level, including family, not just individuals, male or female, the cultural aspects are really key, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And I think that the more attention we paid to those aspects that are slightly different from the technical knowledge that historically companies have looked at, when they refer to talent, the most success we will bring to the whole equation, because definitely when the individual feels that he or she is being considered not only by the technical expertise that they bring, but also, by their cultural baggage and their personalities and the many different ways of communicating and the value that they bring to a team, making it more diverse and more inclusive. I think that that's an amazing value, and that's definitely an area that all companies and individuals should be building on even further.
So you've been a coach and you didn't know it.
Yeah, I definitely think that listening to people is the first step for anything. And in my experience working in human resources and obviously dealing with expatriates in mobility, that is something that has really come, as a strong tool for me. Because when you stop to listen, you can appreciate, the concerns, but also the interest, and more importantly, the potential of people. And I think that that's quite critical.
So what about women in energy? Is it happening more?
It is happening. It is happening. And I think that is encouraging. That is good news. We definitely have not achieved the numbers in general in the oil industry and in those fields that have historically been male dominated. We're probably not yet at the numbers that we would like, and we are not yet kind of seeing that balance of female and male leadership. But I think we are making good strides towards that. And I think there is good investment in terms of time and communication and efforts, encouraging young ladies, to look at, those fields, to look at engineering, the STEM fields. And I think that's going to bring a lot of, new brilliant minds into the industry, which is definitely encouraging. So yeah, would I say that we are where we want to be? Probably not, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
So there's pay equity in the energy sector, right? There's no problem with that.
I I don't really, I can't talk for the entire,
Right.
Sector. There is definitely the topic on the agenda, and I know that all companies, because this is based on my conversations with other colleagues in networks that I have participated on, I think it is a big topic on the agenda. And as I said, whether we are where we need to be or not, that's probably for others to kind of bring their opinions.
Right.
But I believe that there is good effort, there are good intentions, and I think there are good plans to make sure that we achieve that goal.
So let's show image number 3, Paul. So we have about 5 or 6 minutes remaining today, and I thank you for being on Global TV. Thank you, and I want you to come back and give us an update on your search and development. What are you going to be looking into, or are you going to take time to write a book?
Believe me, that has crossed my mind, and
Yeah.
I think I would have enough material to probably come up with an interesting book with all the experiences and all the anecdotes that I have in my life working in mobility. I think right now what I'm doing, yes, I am taking a little bit of time. However, this time is mostly invested in kind of, looking at myself, recognizing what are those strengths that I have, and as I said before, that I can use in a new capacity, in a new field, more to do with coaching. I have always been very passionate about individual, development, leadership development, and you have mentioned women, so that's definitely, a group that I would love to continue working with. So that's basically what I'm doing, organizing, what is that plan, what is that path that I want to get into. I believe that the past year has changed the lives of so many people, and we all can use some support in sort of readjusting our compass, redefining our goals. And that is the space where I want to get into.
So I'm looking at the picture above your fireplace behind you, and it's 2 zebras, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So when you look at that picture, and I could tell it's one of your favorite things, but what do you see when you look at those zebras?
Well, I have to say that obviously it brings different thoughts. One is, I love animals, I love nature, and having lived in Africa and actually having seen nature so close and so many animals, I think there is a strong connection. So that picture in particular is a good reminder of, that fantastic world out there. The world that we need to protect and the world that we need to be able to sustain, for the people to come after us.
Yeah, particularly in their natural habitat rather than caged up in some zoo.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, although I've been at the San Diego Safari Park and huge roaming around areas and zebras, and my favorite are giraffes. But
Yes.
but it's great to see on your wall there. It's very striking.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Ana Monsalve, being our guest on Global TV. It's really great to have you after all these years of knowing each other from mobility.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you for the invitation. I really enjoyed the conversation.
And please come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, signing off from Southern California and Houston.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you for joining us in the meeting room at Global TV Talk Show.
Have a wonderful day, and stay safe.